Yesterday, we discussed about karma. Today, we will start our discussing on Agami Karma, the karma or the fruits of action yet to be done, yet to give the result or like that. So what we are because of our past actions, yesterday we discussed it. That simply means that what we shall be depends upon our present actions. If we wish to be good and great, noble and divine, we should perform such actions. This is the greatness of Vedanta or Vedic Dharma. It gives tremendous scope for improvement. People unfortunately think that popularly known as Hinduism, but actually Vedantic Dharma, people think that it is a fatalistic religion. They do not know. There are some religions or religious faith which damn those who have sinned to hell, eternal damnation. In any other spiritual faith, it is there that if anyone does anything else, slightest of the thing, they will go to hell eternally. But if you, this is all unthinkable in Hinduism. We believe who is a sinner? If you ask Vedanta, Vedanta says everyone is the Atman, the purest one. Everyone is the pure supreme bliss. Sins, mistake, etc. are all superficial coverings, like dust covering the mirror. We have the capacity to wipe that dust out. This gives great hope for us mortals who are mortals. In order to attain knowledge, we need the help of work. The Brahma Sutra 3.2.24 says that the Upanishads, being our authority, we say that activities are necessary. Activities are necessary. Knowledge needs the help of sacrifices because the scriptures say that duties help in burning away past sins. Even after enlightenment, Gita says that royal sages like Janaka performed actions, and their actions were for the good of the world. So, for those who are seeking self-knowledge, scriptures prescribe noble actions like worship, meditation, service, and so on. So, according to scriptures, work can be classified into 5 types. So we will start in different way. That first one is Kamya Karma or desire born actions. Kamya Karma, desire born action. These are the works all human beings perform day and night. We work because we can earn money, we can earn merit, and so on. So by earning merit, we know we shall get more money and more enjoyment. According to our scriptures, by performing sacrifices like Agnishtoma Yagna, what is the result? Veda promises us that the soul will go to heaven permanently, eternally, but not. Because after few some mantras, here eternal and permanent means for a long time, which appears as eternal. Maybe till the end of this kalpa. But when again the new kalpa will start, the new creation will start, again those all jivas have to take birth. So owing to the force of one's merits, the soul can also become a god. Even the king of the gods, Indra, also can be reached by acquiring merits, or Varuna and other uh, important gods. But after the fruits of actions are exhausted, the soul lands back into lower positions. Therefore, our scriptures warn time and again that we should never perform desire-born action. There may be momentary joy, but the final result is endless misery. So we should be very much careful about when we go for doing any karma, because kamya karma, desire porn action, always leads us what our mind prompts us. And from the beginning of our life, the one person, one entity makes us dancing, made us puppet, and that is mind. And in desire born action or desire prone actions should be condemned. Kamya karma should not be done. We have to be very careful. Before doing any work, please give a pause for a second. Why I am doing? Is it really necessary to do? Is it helpful for my spiritual growth? Just ask yourself. Now, the second one is Nishiddha karma or sinful actions. Nobody means our well-wishers like guru, scriptures, our parents, our good friends, our good relatives. Never advises us to perform sinful acts. In spite of ourselves, we commit sinful deeds and suffer. After committing mistakes after committing sins or Nishiddha karma, everyone else may excuse us, but not our nervous system. They keep bothering us. According to some religions, the sinner is eternally imprisoned to the hell, but not so in Vedic religion or Hinduism or in Vedanta. No one is condemned or damned here. Sins are nothing but the mountain of cotton. Sins are nothing but the mountains of cotton. When we strike a match, it goes off. The match is the name of the Lord or spiritual practice. So sins are not a big hurdle for a spiritual aspirant. But an aspirant seeking knowledge should by all means avoid committing sins. So we should not do kamya karma and nishiddha karma. Then what should we do in our daily spiritual practice? That is nitya karma, daily obligatory duties, nitya karma. Every householder, all the samsari, brahmachari, vanaprasthi, have to perform 5 sacrifices daily, not with the fire and everything else. Because we are indebted to 5 things. Devarin, Rishirin, then Bhutarin, Nririn, and Pitririn. Pitri means Pitri Matri and ancestors. So Devarin means we are indebted to the gods or the divine personalities. Because of their sacrifices, we are here. So we have to sacrifice little bit. What we have to do? Little bit puja of Bhagavan. Then Rishirin, the Shastra. We are under the Shastras. So we should study little bit of Shastra every day. Or we should listen to our Guru or Acharya at least a little bit of time every day. Then Nairin, that today's world we perform it, means tax to the king. We pay it. Then Pitririn, we are indebted to our parents and our ancestors. So we should serve our parents. We should serve our parents because we are indebted. Because of them, we are here in this body. And some Vedic rituals are there to offer some water or something else to the ancestors, great ancestors. And bhutarin, bhut doesn't mean the ghost. Bhuta means for all being. Like feeding some food to the animals, to the birds, to the cow, to the dog even. A lot of people I know, they give sugar cube to the ants. In Rajasthan, there is a temple called Mouse Temple or Rat Temple, Chuha Mandir. Thousands of rats are there and they provide milk to the rat. I have witnessed that temple. So, Nitya Karma should be performed. According to the Hindu system, we have to do Nitya Karma every day, daily obligatory duties we have to do. And in between there is meditation, worship, service, selfless service, providing food, everything else. And if anyone can do every day with love and joy and inspiration, he or she intends to attain knowledge. What will they get will be the next question. So according to all scriptures, Nitya Karma will not give any fruit. But daily obligatory duties purify our mind. But see, one funny thing over here, not funny, this is Vedic injunction. If we do Nitya Karma or daily obligatory duties, we will not get any punya, any merits. But if we do not do, demerits will be there. In Veda it is there, akarane pratyavaya. Akarane pratyavaya dosha. It's a sin. It's a papa if one does not perform daily obligatory duties. Then comes occasional duties or naimittika karma, which doesn't happen every day. Like here, suppose marriage is a very holy thing according to Hindu scriptures. And it, the old people, that how lengthy it was, with a lot of pandits will sit and they will chant Vedic hymns for hours. Now it is online marriage or paper marriage. But it was there and it is here in some families still. So this is occasional duties because everyone doesn't do marriage every day. How horrible it will be. So occasional duties is occasional only. So occasionally certain responsibilities fall upon us. They have to be performed. Such duties are like performance of some festivals, and that also like Durga Puja, Kali Puja, Janmashtami and some other things which comes occasionally. That also purify our mind. And the fifth one is purificatory actions or actions for atonement. In Sanskrit, it is prayaschitta karma. Prayaschitta karma. So, why it is? Because knowingly or unknowingly, we commit errors in life. These are the sins. So, they have to be atoned. Scriptures have various rules of atonement. So by performing them, we become freed from sins. Clear? Prayaschitta karma. So we should not do kamya karma or desire born action, and nishiddha karma, which is sinful, where there is injunction for Veda, we should not do. What should we do? We should do nitya karma or daily obligatory duties, naimittika karma or occasional obligatory duties, and prayaschitta karma or purificatory action or actions of atonement. So these are the 5 duties of every aspirant. We have been discussing the fit aspirant since the beginning of this talk series of Tattva Bodha. He or she who follows the principles laid down in the performance or non-performance of these duties is a fit aspirant. These actions are not meant for the person of knowledge. The person who has attained knowledge is beyond all rules and regulations. Jnani sabke bahar hai. So now the question is, does a person who has attained knowledge work? Jnani काम करते हैं? The answer is great men like incarnations or avatars in coming back from samadhi or from deep meditation or ecstasy to the realm of I and mine, मैं और मेरा, first experience the unmanifesting or unmanifested nad, which by degrees grows distinct and appears as Om. And then from Om or Omkar, the subtle form of the universe as a mass of ideas becomes experienced. And last, the material universe comes into perception. But ordinary sadhakas somehow reach beyond nada through immense practice, and when once they attain to the direct realization of Brahman, they cannot again come back to the lower plane of material perception. They melt away in Brahman like water in milk. A person should first attain knowledge and then begin working. Even after attaining knowledge, The realized soul or jnani can live in the world retaining Vidyamaya. We discussed when we did the class of Maya that Maya is two types sometimes, Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya. Vidya Maya helps us in the path of knowledge, but Avidya Maya drags us from the path of knowledge. That is to say that Bhakti, Vidya Maya means Bhakti, compassion, renunciation, and such virtues. This serves him two purposes. First, the teaching of men, and second, the enjoyment of divine bliss. See, if all realized soul after realization gives up their body, then how would we get this supreme knowledge? They has to work, they has to teach. Otherwise, how the ordinary people like us will get the knowledge? But how they will work? Because for performing of work, little bit of I and mine is needed, and that is not bondage. This is Vidya Maya. That ego is Vidya Maya. The thing is, if a realized soul or jnanis remain silent, merged in samadhi always, then men's hearts will not be illumined. People's heart will not be illumined. Therefore, Shankaracharya ji, like other acharyas also, kept the ego of knowledge, and further, a jnani or realized soul lives as a devotee in the company of bhaktas or devotees in order to enjoy and drink deep of the bliss of God. The ego of knowledge and the ego of devotion like dasa aham, bhakta aham do not harm. It is the wicked I that is harmful, which generates the sense of I and my, আমি এবং আমার যেগুলো তৈরি করে, which creates may or more. After realizing God, a man becomes like a child. There is no harm in the ego of a child. It is like the reflection of a face in a mirror. The reflection cannot call names, or it is like a burnt rope, which appears to be a rope but disappears at the slightest puff. Or it's like, like peanuts when it is bharjita, tala hua, when it is fried or boiled, the sprout will never come. the next tree will never come from it. The ego that has been burnt in the fire of knowledge cannot injure anybody. It is an ego only name. Returning to the relative plane after reaching the absolute is like coming back to the shore of a river after going to the other side. Such a return to the relative plane is for the teaching of men and women and for enjoyment participation in the divine sport in the world. Now we will come into the sloka. So in this section, Tattva Bodha therefore defines Agami Karma as those actions which are done by the person of knowledge. Agami Karma Kim, Agami Karma Kim, Jnanotpatti Anantaram, Jnanotpatti Anantaram, Jnani Deha Kritam, Jnani Deha Kritam, Punya Papa Rupam, Punya Papa Rupam, Karma Yadasti, Karma Yadasti, Tad Agami iti abhidhiyate, Tad Agami iti abhidhiyate, Agami Karma Kim, Jnanotpatti Anantaram, Jnani Deha Kritam, Punya Papa Rupam, Karma Yadasti, Tadagamiti Abhidhiyate. So, the question is, Agami Karma Kim? What is Agami Karma, future karma? Jnanotpatti Anantaram. After the awakening of knowledge, Jnani Deha Kritam, that which is done by the body of the person of knowledge. ज्ञानी जो करते हैं, ज्ञानी का शरीर जो करते हैं, कर्म पुण्य पाप रूपम, actions tadasti, whatever are agami iti abhidhiyate, that is called agami. So what is future karma? Those actions which are done by the body of a realized soul after the awakening of self-knowledge. Both good and bad are called future actions. Realized souls, all the realized souls or acharyas say that a man may keep this ego even after attaining samadhi or deep meditation, final meditation, ecstasy. Such a man feels either that he is a servant of God or that he is a lover of God. Shankaracharya retained the ego of knowledge to teach people spiritual life. If Shankaracharya attaining knowledge did not say anything else, we could not get even a slightest glimpse. Golden scriptures called Veda. So the thing is, the ego, dasa aham, the ego of devotees, bhakto aham, bhakto aham, the ego of self-knowledge, little bit, may be called the ripe ego, pakami, paka hua मैं, ripe ego. It is different from the unripe ego. कच्चा आमी से ये अलग है. Which makes one feel I am the son of so and so. And I am a learned man. I am rich. I am a doctor. I am a designer. I am a cook. How dare anyone slight me? Do you know who am I? This is unripened I. Kachami. A man with an unripe ego cherishes such ideas. But after realizing God, some souls perform work in order to teach people. In Shastra, in Veda, we see King Janaka, the celestial sage Narada, Devarshi Narada, and other like them belong to this group. But one must possess power in order to be able to teach others. The sage of old were busy attaining knowledge for themselves. But teachers like Narada went about doing good to others. They were real heroes. But first knowledge, then work. See, if you ever seen the ripe jackfruit, it's very sweet. But how you can break it, how you can peel off and take out the nice, juicy, pulpy fruit. It is full of white, adhesive like things. And if it just stick into the palm, it's very difficult to get rid of it. What we do, before breaking a jackfruit, we put oil in our palm, mustard oil mainly, the Bengali people, and other people, I don't know they eat or not. They put some oil and then break it. Then there is no stickiness in the heart, hand or palm, no uneasiness. So that oil is knowledge. If you have knowledge, then the sin or the worst part of the samsara, the household factors, attachment, will not come. Okay, so that is the thing we are discussing over here. And another thing, what you sow today, you reap tomorrow. The result of what you do today come as Agami Karma in the future. The results may come either in the next instant or after a few years, or in a future life, the results get drawn to the performer of the action. It may appear that one acts while the other enjoys or suffers the results, but the doer alone becomes the enjoyer and sufferer of the results. Animals also are identified with the body but perform actions without a sense of doership. They have no choice in action but act according to instincts as programmed by nature of God. Man, having identified with the body, acts with a sense of doership and has a choice in action. He or she may do, may not do, or do otherwise, kartum sakyam, akartum sakyam, anyatha va kartum sakyam. A wise man, not being identified with his body, has no sense of doership, yet may appear to be performing actions through his body. As far as he is concerned, he is the pure self, free from actions. Our Pujya Gurudev, what he has done, it is only possible when he left his body identification. This is the example of a realized soul. This is the example of the behavior of a realized soul after realization, that how beautifully, how perfectly, how huge amount of work they perform than the other bound people who claims themselves that I am a samsari, I am not a sadhu. There is no connection of realizing God with being a sadhu or a samsari, being a monk or a householder. There is every right for gaining knowledge for the householders, for the monk, for everyone else. The reactions depend upon the intention behind the actions. Good intentions result in merit or punya, and bad intention in demerit or papa. Those which result in sorrow, tension, regret, or guilt, or anxiety, or angry, unnecessarily emotional, depression, these are result of papa karma, sinful action. This is demerits. Please consider that. While those that give joy, a feeling of inner fulfillment and self-congratulation, are called punya karma or merits, meritful action. The actions which spring from a concern and love for others and is one's own duty are meritorious actions or punya karmas. Those which spring from selfish motives and are prohibited are sins or papa karma. Sometimes it is difficult to determine exactly what constitutes meritorious actions or sins. duties or prohibited actions. One must always be alert and perform only good actions. If one wishes to live peacefully, but as far as a wise man is concerned, there are no good or bad actions for him as he has no sense of doership. Hari Om Tat Sat.